in a broken wasteland. Come to my fire.
What's going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Holy hell, we have Saber from LA, baby. The Kings. Yes, and here I am in my LA garb this week. I don't usually do this on the Metal Forge. Don't really sport the hockey sweater or anything because it is like a plate of armor here. This giant front patch. I love it. But no, Steven and Joel from Saber are here this week. We're going to listen to some awesome tunes with them. We're going to get into some pretty cool happenings and stuff and things and all of that with those dudes. And this week, a new segment debuts on the Metal Forge in the interview. So please stay tuned. Give it a listen. Give it a share. Give it a like, a share, a follow. All the things and all the stuff and everything. And we appreciate you here at the Metal Forge. Myself, Jason Gardner, and our new segment host, Jason Roach, Aaron Ossont from Ossont&Battery. Super rad dudes. I love them all. They're fellow Flamekeepers. And we're trying to get every episode the best it can be for you and me and everybody around in metal. And this week I kind of want to bring up the thing about the news. You know, Rob Dukes coming back to Exodus with a split from Zetro. I hadn't got a chance to read the articles yet, but I'm going to soon. Check it out. We've got some awesome shows coming up that the Metal Forge is promoting called Mark's Big Goddamn Birthday Show this year at Art Sanctuary with a few awesome bands. One of which is Rat King. They just did an ELO cover. I love this stuff of Evil Woman, and I've always wanted to do that. So stay tuned. Let's get into talking with Saber, but first, tunes. Love you guys. In
All right.
three, or well, do it like fucking three, two, one. What's going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson. I am your host, and I'm going into this like it's the beginning of the fucking show again because I am out of my fucking mind already this week. So with I want to go ahead and introduce my guests, which are fucking Steven and Joel from the band Saber. Dudes, what is up?
How's it going, man?
What's up,
It,
man?
it's going. You guys haven't been here for a minute. It's been since like 2020 for you all. You all were in episode number 100 of the
Oh,
Metal.
Pandemic era.
yeah.
So cheers. It's good to see you guys. Got the
Cheers.
Chernobyl in the glass of fucking with the doors on it. Look at that.
All right, that's sick.
Are you drinking fucking
Pacifico.
hell
then Steven
yeah.
got a beatbox.
And
I'm like the most
Steven's
trash
drinking
one.
fucking coconut water?
I'm the trash. I'm the trash one with the beatbox, like, because I'm more of a hard liquor drinker. But yeah,
Ah. See, when you first pulled it out, it looked like it was fucking coconut water. And I was like,
Right?
when did you get all fucking fitness on everybody?
yeah. You know what's funny? It's funny. It kind of feels like a reflection back to your youth, because back then we're like
Like a juice
it's
box.
like a juice
or something.
box, you know. And then it's like, wow,
Right.
as adults, we're obsessed with these. It's like it's like feels like home.
Dude, the ecto coolers from fucking those are probably way before your times. But I remember the Ghostbusters ecto coolers, where they were just like they were like little high lime high C juice boxes is what they were. Super super rad stuff, it's the shit that probably was this same color. The shit that you probably
Shouldn't be drinking.
be drinking anyways. So obviously this is a catch-up episode because when you all first came into the Metal Forge, y'all were you were working on Without Warning. You had just put it out. And now here we are for another album with you guys. Oh my God, it's
Right.
Lost in Flames.
Yeah.
And the single Lost in Flames, like there's a ton of bands out there today, but it always seems like there's more of what I see is more of like more black metal for one. I see a ton of fucking black metal bands. I
Yeah.
get a ton of black metal emails, but I don't get a lot of like thrash oriented music anymore. Like especially newer bands that are out there. Like, with you guys are speed oriented, thrash oriented as well. And but there's still like the little bit of the new wave of traditional heavy metal in there, which is cool too. So I guess what my question is like when it comes to putting out now a follow-up album, how did you all address saying like this is where we were on Without Warning, now where are we going now?
I think it would be more of the sense of like, well, let's play what we feel. That's usually how we always go. Like, what are we feeling right now? And we pick up the guitar with like a pen, notepad, or an app where you can write something down, like a lyric or write a riff, and whatever comes out, and like, oh, that sounds good, or what can we do with that? And then we
Sure.
kind of just evolve it from that. So it's not necessarily like specifically saying I want to write something like this. It's just like, well, what are we feeling in that moment, and then watch it grow from there. I'll write like a riff, and then I'll show it to the guys, and then it's like, oh, that sounds cool. Why don't you do this? And then like we start working on it, and then usually it'll be like, well, this kind of feels like this. It's like whether it's fast, mid tempo, or slow. Like, well, let's go in this direction. Let's make it sound like this, and then make it feel like this. Like, all right, cool, I dig that. Let's go with that. That's kind of like the whole
Sure.
vibe for the album was.
Hell yeah. Now, when it comes into the writing aspect, is it just you putting out riffs or is everybody like,
Majority of the time it's me because I'm just at home like writing stuff. Like that's literally all I do. So I always have something to present to the guys.
Like he'll come up with like a riff and then he'll show me and then he's just like, this is a new song, like or a new idea. And we share a drive together. So because we all of us together as a band, like we kind of are spread out all over Los Angeles, and like not even Los Angeles, it's SoCal. Like, Pat lives all the way in like Hammond. David lives in like
Santa.
Santa Ana, and then Joel lives in Anaheim. I live towards like Los Angeles. So like he shows me an idea, and then like I go from there. Like we'll either like it's either like he'll come up with an idea of the lyrics right after, or like I'll do that, or like like that's how we collaborate.
Okay. So that's pretty cool because not one person is saying, "Hey, this is what I do. This is my job in the band." That you're coming up and saying, "I have like this is a cool lyric idea for it too."
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we ever since we started, it's always been like that. Like everybody contributes. They all put in their part because every single person in the band usually does one thing better than the other. But when we all come together, it's like, well, this works so well.
It's like we all know our
Sure.
role.
Yeah.
Isn't that so you all understand what The Rock was saying all those years ago about knowing your role, I guess? No. Nah.
Absolutely.
No, I totally get that. And I think that's how like Ice Owl is for us is not one person is, we all have our place, but when we all come together, it's just like this awesome thing. And that's cool to have. Especially like when you play in other bands and you might not necessarily have that where you do actually have to work for it
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, and getting into that and working into that it can be fun and rewarding, but it almost doesn't seem as fun as rewarding as it is when you just go straight into it. and
Oh
you
yeah.
know and you all know exactly what needs to be done.
Right.
Yeah, that's the fun thing. So with the new album coming out in February of 2025, what do you all have after that you all want to do?
Well, we definitely want to do a release show the day the album comes out. So we're gonna start promoting that sometime at the end of this month, if not next month, and possibly look for a tour.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you say look for a tour, are you planning like now, how does that or are you still playing with Trevor and Haunt?
Yeah.
Okay. So when that comes to a thing, and I know you guys are good friends,
Yeah.
the bands wise is what I'm saying,
Mhm.
between Saber and Haunt. You're like the kid brother band, it feels like, and it's
Yeah.
cool because it's like, oh dude, no, Trevor works with those dudes. They're awesome. So with that, you know, are you is it going to be something that you all are going to try and do together? Are you going to try and do Saber separately? I mean,
It kind of just depends on maybe the
because
circumstance. Because I
because
mean,
True
right now
Cycle is an
there
interesting
isn't
thing.
something set up for that, but I there could be. You never know what could happen down the road. But as of right now, we're just kind of looking to maybe just tour on our own,
Okay.
aside from Haunt, because I know Haunt we have a tour coming up in March, and that's already set. And then so I'm gonna look for something maybe for Saber after that, so that way it doesn't
Okay, cool.
interfere. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it would be cool to tour both though.
It'd be cool for another Allied Forces part two.
Yeah, but I'd have to play twice every single night for a whole month.
That's not
yeah,
that's
exactly.
not a problem for
And
you.
dude, and that takes a lot. I'm not gonna lie. That I'm sure that takes a lot. And it's different intensities for both shows too.
It is. So we just did we played Sacramento about a week ago. It was Haunt and Saber and
Oh wow.
Peacemaker as well. So me and Trevor both did double duty that night.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, by the end of it, I was like, man, I'm a little not winded, but I was like, I feel it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, because the the show is the reward part of it, I think.
Oh
but
yeah.
of everything that we do, of musicians, I think the show is ultimately the reward where, we can say to a group of people in a room saying that they came out to see you and whatnot, that you can actually just sit there and perform and be this over the top person.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, to do that double duty is hard. I'm sure. We actually were going to book triple duty on our drummer one night, and
Jesus.
yeah, and it didn't
That's okay. They're
happen.
used to
It
it.
didn't happen. Well, I mean, hang on. We play Power Doom, so it's a little bit different, but it still takes its toll. So,
Oh yeah. And most drummers are usually like in two or three bands already, but like to play the same
sure.
night two or three times is just insane.
Yeah, they're literally
Yeah, I mean,
the
so
amount of adrenaline they have. It's insane.
So yeah, and then you talk about you just did that show and you pulled double duty and Trevor pulled double duty, but Juan Bonham played double duty also.
Yeah, he did. And so did
And
Sam.
so there's a drummer. If a drummer could do triple duty, it would totally be him.
Oh yeah, he's got energy for days, man. The man don't stop.
No, he doesn't. And watching him on like Facebook and stuff and all the stuff that he's been posting, oh my gosh, great dude.
Oh yeah, he loves it. He's a
Andy
diehard
Andy
musician.
is Andy is awesome. So
Yeah.
give huge shouts out to them. So now with this tour, are you looking to do more southeast or southwest? Are you looking to do west coast? Are you looking to book a 30-date deal or what?
Well, it all depends. We're gonna reach out to booking agent and then see what we can do. Because the last tour we did on the Allied Forces one, we hit all of the West Coast and the Midwest. So it'd be cool to go further than that. Maybe even reach the East Coast because we know we got a lot of fans out there that still haven't seen the band, and they
Yeah.
definitely want to
Sure.
see us. And we love that. There you go.
I am one because you all didn't make I think the closest you all made it to was Chicago. That on
No,
that or no, did you even
No,
make it
we
to
didn't go.
Chicago?
We didn't go to Chicago. We got to Texas, and then from Texas we went up to Colorado, I believe.
I think you
Yeah, okay. So yeah,
you
you
might
all
be,
didn't even
That,
make it
I went
over
to
this
Chicago
way.
like years ago. Though. That was a different band.
but didn't you do Chicago with? Huh? No.
Well, we
Yeah,
went there in
he
August. In
back
August,
in August we played
yeah,
together
yeah, we did.
with Haunt
And
and
Savage Master.
Savage Master. Yeah.
That was a great
Yeah,
show.
that was a fun show. That was rad. Nice little space there.
Yeah.
Um TBC. Talk
I still
about
got to
that
meet
later.
you. Man. I gotta still meet you.
Huh?
I'm like, I still got to meet you in person.
Yeah, we do. We totally do. So, obviously with the album coming out in February and the way these things move, ultimately we never stop writing as musicians. Like we always have something going on in the back of our mind, whether we're playing it on guitar, bass, drums, vocals, or not. We always are doing something, and
Yeah.
we're always writing to the next thing. So, do you have more songs ready that you're chomping at the bit to get going to?
We've been working definitely because since it took so long for the second album to come out, throughout that whole time, like how you said, we just haven't stopped. We just pick up the guitar, or Steven will send me like lyric ideas, and he's like, "Hey, look, check this out," and I was like, "Okay, cool, that might fit this song idea that I have." So there is material already being worked on. So there
Definitely.
isn't going to be a huge gap like there was between the first album and this one coming out to be released for
Well,
sure.
and two, I think that was just ultimately it was just the timing of that album. When it came out, COVID was still kind of a thing. It was
Yeah.
almost done, and then and I think for anybody that released an album and then they kind of had like a jump start, and now, like I said, you're probably playing shows where you're playing songs that aren't even on the second album now.
I mean,
Maybe.
we've been playing some new material, like
Yeah.
even since the album hasn't been out, like live, like even in our set, because it's just like,
Yeah, we've added new songs to the set, so it's like we're trying to test them out. And one of them, a song called Steelbreaker, every time we play it, people were just like, "That song is insane! Like, why haven't I heard it?" And I was like, "Well, it's on the new album."
we have like a
Right.
few live recordings of it, but we're like, we don't know, we're like, don't post it.
And that's the thing too, because yes, in a band, totally doing the exact same thing right now. Got songs ready to go. And that's like really the plight of being a musician, I think, is the thing where you always have stuff going on. Like I
Absolutely.
said a minute ago, whether you've actually got it pen to paper or actually recorded, you have a serviceable version of it somewhere, and then you just can't put it out because the wheels turn so slow on
Yeah.
that part of the business. I could only imagine, talking about elder statesmen and legacy style bands that that don't that don't have to go to a fucking day job.
Yeah.
You know, the bands that do this for a living, I could only imagine what is in the vault that hasn't been released because either A, things just move way too slowly, or, you know, to quote Lars, this is the worst piece of shit, and nobody else is ever going to hear this outside of this room. I want to hear that stuff. I want to hear
Right.
the songs in the cutting room floor kind of stuff, the songs that
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Definitely. Like I remember hearing an interview of like Tony Iommi, and I think it was um might have been Ian Gillan
Okay.
who sang on that Seven Star album. Like when they were writing ideas for that album, like Tony showed up with like 3 or 4 trash bags of cassette tapes, and they were like, "What's that?" He's like, "These are all song ideas." And it's like, holy shit! It's like you have all of that. It's like, yeah, I mean, you just don't stop writing as a musician. Like you
Oh
want to just
no.
keep writing. You get that wheel has to keep grinding no
Yeah.
matter what. Even if you
And
write shit songs or even great songs like that, it's still there because it's like a muscle. You just got to keep working at it, and it gets stronger and better.
for sure. And that's so funny that you say the tapes and trash bags thing, because I have had cassette tape demos like that before.
Mhm.
I don't have any cassette tape demos now because everything that I've had has all been digitized.
Right.
And I mean, the vault has them, but I don't have them out. Let's just say that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Uh,
Cassettes are so
because I still have the physical copy in perpetuity, no matter
Oh yeah,
what. But
cassettes are just like a nostalgic thing. Like me and Steven, like we have a ton of cassettes.
We love cassettes. Yeah, like,
well,
I
yeah,
prefer
I mean,
I prefer cassettes over CD because, like, I mean, like, it's just like it's very convenient, small, and like even just by it being small, like it has like so much like impact, you
That's what she
know?
said.
Steven, let me guess, your first car was like a 91 Honda Accord or something, wasn't it?
Actually, a 2014 Honda Civic. I still got my
Oh
first car.
shit.
I wish
I was
I
right.
could have got
I was
actually my
right with the
first car could
Honda.
have.
Just
I was
well,
actually gonna
see,
get a
but your
Celica.
2014 didn't have a tape deck in it though.
Mm.
So like, my
So
first car was a '93 Nissan Altima, and it had a tape deck.
did it work?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. One of my first vehicles I actually had was an 88 Dodge Dakota that had a factory CD player. And it was the worst fucking CD player ever. You would look at it and it would skip.
Jesus.
You could take a CD out of the package fresh from buying it, put it in there, and it would still skip. Would not read burnt CDs at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So it was the worst
Damn.
CD player ever. And once it like got hot, No, it would just spit the CD back out.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was the worst. And then I ended up getting a Park Avenue, and I had the tape deck in the Park Avenue, and I
There you go.
love it. Loved that tape deck. Got to listen to so much shit on there. Speaking of, what is your most prized cassette? What do you have?
Ooh, mine would probably be I have Impellitrary's Black EP on cassette.
Nice.
I found it at a little like indie vinyl record place, and I was like, oh, it's like a little it looks like an Airstream in a plaza. They were just selling vinyl, and then they had a bunch of cassettes. And I went in there and I got David Lee Roth's Skyscraper. I got Queensryche the EP, and then I got the Impellitrary Black EP, and I was like, oh, this is a sick find.
Holy shit, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That there's almost nothing better than that EP.
Right?
I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be that guy here and say I think that is the pinnacle for Queensryche.
Oh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, OMC is good, but I like it. But just like out of that EP coming out of the gate, fucking
Right?
hot.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
yeah, and and now they're doing the anniversary of it, I believe, next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or well,
The
by the time
warning,
this
they're doing
airs,
the warning anniversary, which is do you like the warning?
the
The first
warning,
album.
yeah. I mean,
So the
I like the EP. I'm not I'm okay, so like when I was coming up, when I was like, that 12, 13 years old and getting into metal and
yeah.
everything, uh like it was all Operation Mindcrime.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And and like boom boom, and I just had that played so fucking many times that like I didn't want to go back. And then finally when I did go back and explore more things, I got the EP and I was just like completely blown away. But then I was just like, and then it was almost like, okay, now I found something I liked. I don't want to run it in the ground. So I'm going through still listening to stuff again and again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I wish I was more of a fan, honestly, because the musicianship is there. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
like one of those things. It's like David Lee Roth for me, and quite frankly, Van Halen. Just I respect it. I'm just not a fan. David Lee Roth to me just like feels like he fucking just screams in whatever fucking
It wails.
disconnected, yeah, whatever
It's like
disconnected
whatever
random thought.
works.
What's that, Steven?
He's kind of like whatever works. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
so rock star back then that he was just like whatever comes out of me, whatever works. I mean, the man
Well,
had
I
bullet
mean,
stories. He
what
had
is
it.
it in Running with the Devil? He says something, something, something. I'm gonna tell you one time,
Yeah.
and does the thing. And it's just like, to me, he's just whatever random disconnected thought. That should be the game of like, can you write a Van Halen with David Lee Roth song? List five disconnected thoughts, and those are the lyrics to the song. And
I
I
mean,
could totally see it. And I could totally see it. What about you, Steven? What's your most prized cassette tape?
well, I don't have the EP,
Oh.
but I have it on vinyl. I have the original issue, but I do, and I have also the original issue of the Warning. I really love the Warning. The EP equally as amount because it's just like the transition into that album. It was like their most realist of like what came from them, and then not saying that everything else is not real from what they've like like accomplished, but like that was when they were starting off, and that was what they sounded like, and like
Sure.
I have the original. So regarding the question, the cassette, yeah, I have the original cassette of the Warning. I
Nice.
also have the original cassette of Fabulous Disaster of Exodus, and I got Megadeth's Peace Cells.
Nice.
I got Judas Priest's Painkiller and Ram It Down, and
Oh, Ram It
I got like the entire discography of all Judas Priest because like it's Priest. And then
Yeah.
But which one's your favorite one? Like,
Priest.
I think my most one is Stained Class. The Stained Class was so memorable to me.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like just the
Um,
art, everything.
for me on cassette, on a reprint cassette, I would have to say having No Life Till Leather.
dang.
Even if it's on reprint, it was record store day reprint. It came out in like 2014 or something.
Mhm.
So having that is cool. Uh, two copies of it
Nice.
actually. Yeah, I had to get one to always keep in the wrapper and
Yeah,
be that
for
guy with
sure.
it.
Yeah.
But in with actual cassette tape would probably have to be British Steel.
It's a good one.
That's a good.
Would have to be the old school complete black cover with the white border on the bottom and the red Judas Priest
Nice.
block lettering and shit where it just shows like a little square of the album art. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love when newer cassettes do that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
When
Just like
they
the
when
whole
they do
nostalgic
that
thing.
and look, yeah, and point out, yeah, and do the nostalgic look of the J card, like because the artwork doesn't size right to it.
Yeah.
Then there's those weird ones that almost try to force it, which is another Judas Priest one, like Jugulator did.
Mm.
The Jugulator cassette looks like shit.
I haven't. Yeah, I do.
you,
We
you
don't talk
you know
about.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I
Another
didn't
one
know
that's
anyone to bring that up, but yeah, you did. I was like, dude,
yeah,
no, what?
another one that sucks. Another is Domination from Morbid Angel. The cassette version of it turns the artwork on its side and like
Oh,
landscapes it and squashes it down, and
it's
it
terrible.
looks like. Do you remember like playing Doom?
Yeah.
Like back in the day, that's what it looks like. It looks like when you're fucking working through the maze,
That's
and it just
freaking
looks like
terrible.
shit. Anyways, that's what we do here on the Metal Forge, as we've always done. We tangent shit on and fucking just kick shit down the road. So, other than touring, other than a new album, what else are in 2025 do y'all want to plan to do?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Like anything that presents itself at this
Yeah.
point, like we want to do it all. We want to play bigger festivals. We want to see fans that we haven't seen before. We want to.
Definitely go to Europe. That would be a thing to do if
Fuck
we can.
yeah.
Yeah, we got a ton of people asking us already, like when we're going, and I was like, the opportunity presents itself, we'll definitely be there.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to quoting the opportunity presents itself, is like making the opportunity present itself is the
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
I mean, really, when you get down to it with being in a band and is nobody understands the work that goes on behind the scenes. We talked about it a minute ago where performance is the ultimate gift, as it were, to being able to play live for people that they don't see all of the other work that goes behind the
Yeah.
scenes. So, what do you all do in the interim of making, the opportunity present itself? How do you all push it along its way, I guess?
Definitely would be like showing off what we can do live because I'm one of those people where if you listen to a record and if it's good, it's like, all right, well, I like this band, but you won't really actually love the band until you see what they can do live, right? And
Sure.
having someone like Steven is amazing because he's such a showmanship. He has like the whole David Lee Roth thing where like he's very performance driven, like interacts with the crowd. You can see he's just having so much fun. And every time we perform live, everybody just like, I was completely blown away. This is fantastic. So we always try to capture like videos of that and like share so people can get an idea of what it would be like at the
Sure.
show. And I feel like that, especially in our generation where social media is like a huge thing, that somebody might see that, you know, like you put in that work of like cutting the video, editing it, whatever, posting it, and then somebody might see it, somebody important, and then that's like they'll reach out and then they're like, well, let's set something up. You just never know. You just got to keep putting in that work. So, which goes back to playing live. Whenever you play live, you have to give it your all, 110% every time.
Oh, absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. 1 second. So yeah, for 2025, that's some good stuff, you know, doing what we were talking about. And obviously I've stopped and forgot where the fuck I was, because I have a cat that's running around my fucking metal forge here making all kinds of ruckus. But that's okay, because this is more of a catch-up thing with these dudes because they kick fucking ass.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm still going into 2025. We're still going to do some derailed segments. We're going to change it. But first, hopefully by this time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Jason Roach in Precious Metals. He's going to do a segment, and then we're going to come back.
All right.
Greetings and salutations, my metalheads. Welcome to Precious Metals. I am your host, Jason Roach. Welcome to the show. So you're probably wondering, what's this guy doing here? Who is he? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you. Your beloved host of the Metal Forge, Mark Jackson, reached out to me and said, hey Jason, would you be interested in doing a reoccurring segment on the Metal Forge called Precious Metals? I humbly obliged and said, absolutely, Mark, whatever you need me to do. That's why I'm here. Who am I? Well, if you don't recognize me, I have actually been featured on the Metal Forge a few times in some monologues. And I also did the top 5 albums of 2024 episode, too. Highly recommend you check that one out. You'll get to see like my musical taste there. What else have I been involved with? I have been involved with a lot of stuff over the years. I was a writer for the Indie Metal Vault when that was a thing. I was also a contributing member to the Doom charts. I've had several podcasts over the years, but currently I am the guitarist and founding member of the heavy metal band Icehowl, in which Mark Jackson and I share. And I also have my own YouTube channel called Full Metal Gamer. We talk about nerd stuff, video games, heavy metal. We do reaction videos, topics. You know, we cover some interesting topics over there. Which that's basically I'm bringing a little bit of that to the Metal Forge. What is Precious Metals? What is this show going to be? So the format of the show is going to be: I am going to have a topic. I may or may not have a guest with me to discuss on the show. And I'm also going to have 2 musical recommendations at the end of each segment. You're going to have a personal recommendation, something that I would like all of you to know of. And then we're going to jump over to Bandcamp, and then we're going to find a random Bandcamp find. And then I'm going to recommend what I've listened to all of you. So if that interests you, if you are excited for this, please let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think of this segment going forward. Today's video is going to be just an introduction of who I am and something that, you know, I think is relevant and appropriate to start the year off for Precious Metals. So without further ado, everyone, I hope you enjoy the segment. Let's jump right into it. All right, everyone, so for today's topic, I had to ask myself a question. And the question is, you know, the show is called Precious Metals. But what does that mean to me? What are we talking about? Are we talking about gold, silver, platinum? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about music that is precious to you? Precious to me? Precious to the general population? But let's be real here. It ain't the general population because they hate heavy metal. That's just the cold hard reality. Or it goes deeper than that. Or is how precious heavy metal is to me personally. And I think this is a really good way to start off this show, is to bring a message of positivity to all of you. I know that, like, in today's culture and in today's society and where we currently stand in the world, it's going to be very, very easy to fall into negativity. And there's going to be some very, very uncertain roads that we're all going to go down eventually. And whether that be the world stage, whether it be in general or your own personal lives, we're going to go through hard times. But in the hard times, that's when you need to find and embrace the people that you care about to help you through those moments. Grasp onto the things that is most precious to you, like music. That's why you're here watching this video. That's why you're listening to podcasts. That's why you're listening to the Metal Forge. That's why you're checking out my channel, Full Metal Gamer. Shameless plug, I know. I'm so sorry about that. But we got to embrace your friendships, lift them up, go out to dinner more with your friends, go to a concert, do something to get you through, because believe me, self-isolating and stewing on the negativity is not a good place to go. I know it's easier said than done, but I want you all to know that I am here for you. If you need to reach out to someone to be friends with or talk to, reach out to me. I will gladly be someone for you if you need that. I hope to be that for you if you need it. I don't like the fact that people forget that there are so many good things about heavy metal. There are so many good things, the communities, the friendships, the camaraderie that there's always been in the metal community. People just nerding out over certain releases. People getting, whether a band releases a unique piece of merchandise that you're like, oh, I gotta have that. Or going up to a band after a show and just telling them how much their music means to you. Believe it or not, we're all softies when it comes down to it. We all want to do things for other people. That's what heavy metal has always been. It's always been a counterculture by lifting up the people around you and by doing things that you love. And this is it. This is where you and I come in. We got to stick together. We got to listen to the music that we like. We need to talk about it. We need to get engaged. We need to get passionate about it, because there's a lot of passion that's being left behind by a lot of people. Believe me, I have conversations with people. They are forgetting what it means to be in the heavy metal community. It shouldn't be like that. We have the chance to literally make 2025 and beyond the strongest years ever for heavy metal. We just gotta want it. All right, everyone. So, like I said, my very first Bandcamp random recommendation. So, like I said before, when I do these recommendations, I don't know a whole lot about them. I literally just went on Bandcamp and I found the first thing that sounded good to me, and I'm sharing it with all of you. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about the random Bandcamp find. And we have Christian Mistress. They were trending #1 in the heavy metal and actually metal albums in general right now on Bandcamp. They have their brand new album coming out on February 28th titled Children of the Earth. They have one song available to listen to right now on Bandcamp, and it is called, I believe, Mythmaker. And I was like, okay, I wonder what this sounds like. So I pressed play, and I was like, was not expecting that. The best way I can describe the band is, if you are aware of the band Smolder, imagine if Smolder was more traditional heavy metal, more so than the epic doom aspects. If that sounds good to you, then definitely check out Christian Mistress. Like I said, I don't know anything about them. I listened to a song and it sounded really good. So that's my recommendation. I do want to give one more recommendation, though. This one is not random. These are some good friends of ours. More Than Light they just released a brand new EP, The Magic is Calling, on January 10th through Argonauta Records. I highly recommend go check it out. Pick up a record. They do a fantastic cover of Headless Cross by Black Sabbath on this EP. And also, they also reshared a track that they did on the split that we did with them on this EP as well. So absolutely go support our friends. Go check out More in the Light. Pick up a CD. So anyway, those are my Bandcamp recommendations today. I hope you check them out because I said that Christian Mistress track I listened to was pretty damn fantastic. There you have it, everyone. That was Precious Metals. I hope you enjoyed today's segment. I had a lot of fun doing it. Just keep in mind that this was just an introduction show. This was just to get all of you used to my personality, the format, the flow, getting you used to who I am as a person. If you enjoyed that, let Mark and myself know down in the comments. That's it. I'm turning the show back over to Mark Jackson, the Metal Forge, and I hope you enjoyed today's interview. I bestow thee with precious metals.
All right, dude. Thanks, Jason. That kicks fucking ass. I appreciate you, brother. But we're going to go ahead and get into Derailed with Joel and Steven from Saber. Derailed, guys, is, it's kind of like the 5 questions of just about you all as people. We're going to just get into whatever we get into.
All right.
What is something you want to do that's considered impossible, and what would you do to make it possible?
Oh, shit. You want to go first?
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I just for a figure, I don't think anything's not possible. But and one thing that for sure that I would have to really kind of like really get like a little bit more structure, which I'm working on. I really always wanted to be like a gymnastic, like work with like like how the way gymnastic people are, as in like the training and like kind of like carnival. Like I've always wanted to learn like calisthenics. Like I've always wanted to make time for that and like like do all that stuff. I'm like, because it always fascinated me because when I was watching Batman when I was younger, I really fell in love with the character of like Red Robin and the way his backstory was and how there's like different characters. So like I would always see the way they get trained, and I always thought that was so cool, especially the way like how the suit was. Like then they would go out at night and use those characteristics to like fight evil and all that stuff. But yeah, like that's kind of like something that I actually thought that I haven't yet touched yet, but I am interested.
Definitely. Hell yeah. That's pretty cool because that you equated it to like, with Batman and everything. And that's one of the cool things that I think whenever they show us Batman working out, it's always calisthenics. It's never, most of the time, it's never him like, like knocking the shit out of the dummies and shit like that. It's
Right.
like stretching, and it's just like, like breath work and, like real intense calisthenics. And I think that's cool because yeah, like that's always been like this thing for me. When I was in elementary school, we had a gymnast performance at our school, and it was just like wow. And yeah, like people doing back bends and shit like that. It's like I couldn't do it. I wish I could. Joel, what is something that's considered impossible that you would want to do and make it possible? How would you do
Oh
it?
man. But this one would be a little more like music wise. There's you know who John Sykes is?
Yes.
So he doesn't play live anymore, right? He like retired or just
Okay.
does not want to do anything. The impossible thing that I would try to make possible is for him to get on stage again to tour or like play at least one show where I can go and see him.
That's
That's
so.
cool. I mean, that it's and the ultimate thing is hopefully it's something that is easily replaced and not like Oh, I do it for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm not doing it because the money sucks. Or, I'm not doing it because, my faith in whatever is shattered.
yeah.
Because you could always rebuild the faith in something.
Oh
Just
yeah,
fucking paying a lump sum of fucking money, that would just be the cop out.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Ah, that would be that would be the dilemma. Would you, if it was all about the money, would you just sit there and say fuck it? Or would you still pay the money just to see it?
Ah,
That's hard
yeah, that
because
is gonna hurt.
think of what else you could do with the money if it's
That's
any
true.
sizable amount. Yes.
I mean, they
Ah,
always say something. Everybody has a price, right?
that's what the $1 million man
That's a
always
good
said.
show.
Yeah.
Like Rat's song, nobody rides for free.
um, blue blockers or pit vipers?
Pit Vipers.
Yeah, Pit Vipers.
Naturally. No, that was my joke question because Steven's been in his glasses the whole time. He's got it going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Let me reveal some eyes. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Oh,
always
Uh,
you got him to take them off. Holy
yeah,
crap.
I'm always
oh my
presentable.
God.
So,
See that now we've got so many people messaging in saying, what have you done? We've broken the fucking internet. Uh uh could you survive a month without your phone and the internet?
Absolutely.
I would hate it, but yes, I could survive.
As long as I still have music and my guitar, like records, CDs, I'll be perfectly fine.
Dude, that's yes. I mean, I have been in that mode where it's just like, do you ever sit there and feel like you neglect like the Saber page because or whatever because you don't post on it like you do on your personal page or something for some reason, and then you get this feeling like, oh shit, I haven't posted anything for a while. I should put maybe say something
Yeah,
to
Ever
let
for
since
people
sure.
know that
Yeah,
I'm still there.
absolutely. And that's like, again, like that's like kind of like the generation we're in now. Like to be relevant, you have to be on social media like almost every single day.
Sure.
And when I was younger, it was like that was like the thing. But as I get a little older now, I'm just like, man, I'm just sometimes tired of just staring at my fucking phone all day. Like,
it's like it's I feel like it kind of forced artists to have to work that way. But I mean, like it's always kind of been like that almost, but without internet. Because back then you had rock stars that weren't even famous back then, like promoting their gig with flyers.
Sure.
So I feel like it's always been a social media kind of thing, but it's just more digital now. But yeah.
Well, too, back in the day, I think you had more of a chance of walk-up business
oh
Hmm.
than
yeah,
you do now. Because especially with flyering, because with flyering, people were out, they were seeing that shit. That was the way
yeah,
they saw what was happening. Oh, fucking so and so's gonna be here. And yeah, you had your spots. And say, for example, I actually had taken a picture earlier in 24 when Ice had played Legions of Metal, and it was with Kyle, our drummer, he was standing leaning next to a utility pole, and the utility pole had flyers all over it. And for most, normal people, that's just everyday shit. But for me,
yeah.
I'm in a city where there is a ordinance against flyering on the utility poles.
Oh shit.
And it's been that way for 25 years now. Yeah, almost 25 years. So it's
Yeah,
probably about 2001, 2002.
yeah,
So seeing, it was just inherently artistic to see him next to all these flyers of shows that were happening. And yeah, with what you were saying, Steven, that's true. It has went from like flyering to posting online, but now it's just as if, you have to pay to get your post seen, it almost feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like. There's so much you have to pour in, like like it's just and it's always been the hustle. Like it's always like the hustle never stops since day one. Like if you want to get people to go see your band, like you have to be like a social media manager at that point in order to like promote your band until like
Sure.
someone else takes on that management, and then you focus on the music. So it's like
Instead of just being a musician, I have to be like marketing. You have to be promotion. You have to be
Yeah,
all this other stuff.
everybody in the
like
band has to have their own extra hat. And that goes
Yeah,
back to what we were saying earlier, where somebody might be better at this than they might be at this. So that's where they
exactly.
pick up their slack.
Yeah,
For Ice Howl, it's pretty cool that we all can book a show, that
nice.
we all can do that, and we all know how to run it by each other.
Yeah,
And and Overload's the same way. We all run it by each other, and we all know the routine. And when it comes to, hey, so and so can do shirts, and so knows the dude who does patches, and so knows who does banners, and it's just like fitting all
perfect.
that cool shit together.
Yeah,
That, yeah. And yeah, we're a little bit off of the subject, which is what derailed is, but I think that should be the Metal Forge question of the week, and I'm going to put that down in the thing below. Is, could you survive without your phone and the internet for a month? And I guarantee there's a lot of people that couldn't,
yeah,
just
for
because
sure.
of the sheer fact of not being connected.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, why do you think we throw away so much food when there is so much world hunger?
I think because at least in this country, we have an abundance of food, so we feel like, well, there'll be more food tomorrow, right?
Sure.
So, so I feel like most people are like, well, if I just throw it away, it doesn't matter. I'll have food tomorrow. But yeah, there's people out there that really are starving. So when you think about
Even
that, it's just
here,
like, well,
not
yeah,
just in
yeah,
the world, not just world hunger. I mean, there's there's people here that do.
yeah,
Steve, what do you think?
I mean, to add to that, I think like exactly how Joel says in this country. It's like I feel like every company has like an evil tendencies in order to make like the most lowest dollar amount to create what they promote. And that's a lot of issues what we have today. Like whatever's cheapest to make like the billions of copies that we can make. So it's like our food is so not naturally like has all the ingredients we need in our bodies. It is the idea of like what we tend to get tend to what we like as a taste. So I feel like people throw away a lot of food because like it tastes cheap. It tastes like there's no love and care of it. I mean, like, would you rather have a really personal mom home cooked meal than going to a processed place of food?
Sure.
But that's my take on that.
Totally. I totally get that. And I think another big thing of it is what food poor, what people call food poor, and that's the ones where it's like, I have nothing to eat in the house, but but there's green beans and there's carrots and canned carrots, canned green, but then it's like not, they don't look at it as viable food.
right.
Mm.
That's a kind of a weird thing too. And you know, I just think that, with so many billionaires out there, even just in this country alone, not to mention the rest of the world, you know,
Yeah,
there's more than enough stuff that we assign a monetary value to that, you know, everyone should be able to eat,
yeah,
no
definitely.
matter where you live, whether, you, I don't know, whether or not you live in the desert, you know, or in a forest somewhere, you should be
Ev-
you
yeah,
know,
everyone should be able to have at least one or two meals a day.
Uh,
sure, absolutely. second here. All right. What three movies have awesome soundtracks?
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
That one's a good one.
That's like one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. This one is from my childhood for sure. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
That has a great soundtrack. And then
I'm just gonna go on there and say that it doesn't matter. Even the other 3, 7, 8, and 9 have great soundtracks.
they do.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say, if you say Star Wars, you can encompass all 9. You can
Okay, yeah,
encompass
well,
anything from that
Yeah.
that film and television series, because like my ringtone is the Mandalorian theme still.
Oh hell yeah.
Or it's the Cantina
You
Band.
got the tattoo right there.
Oh hell yeah! I knew you were part of the fringe.
I love Star Wars. I grew up on Star Wars.
There you go.
Hard not to hate.
And then my third one would probably be I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Shit. I'll come back to you on the third one. You can go to
Okay. I think regarding like musicality, like differences as in like, like orchestra and like what you would normally hear in different like movies that have like different artists in it.
Sure.
So the Lord of the Rings soundtrack for sure, especially The Hobbit. Like the Hobbit, I love that fucking intro. It's so fucking amazing.
Yes.
And then regarding like as first as like best soundtrack, I gotta go with like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like they have it, like they just like
great soundtrack.
every single scene is like timely, like accordingly, like
Yes.
perfect into sequence of
Dude,
like
in
what
part
they
2,
decided on the song,
Awesome Mix Volume 1 and Volume 2
Yeah,
are pretty fucking good.
they are.
I mean, dude, because in the second one you've got like The Chain, by
dude,
Fleetwood
yeah, you
Mac.
do.
You've got
From
Mr.
Fleetwood
Blue
Mac.
Sky by fucking
Mr. Blue
ELO.
Sky.
You've got My Sweet Lord with George Harrison,
Yeah, Come and Get Your Love by Give Me Redbone. I
Yes,
love that
dude,
song.
That's great.
all right, so you got Guardians, you had the Lord of the Rings series, mutually exclusive like to Star Wars, because the Hobbit is included in that, and any medium that they've put it out in, whether it be the Bakshi original like rotoscoped old school cartoon, it had great music also. So what was your third one?
My third one was Driver. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
That was great.
Driver, is that the one with Stallone or?
No, it was a more recent, like 2010s film.
I'm thinking of Driven.
Was Ryan Gosling in it?
No,
No, it's Chris Hemsworth.
no, it's not either. I forget the name of the actor. I can't remember his name, but he's like he drives for this crime boss who like forces him to do jobs to like he's the getaway driver after
Okay.
they like rob a place. And every time he drives, he puts on headphones and listens to music, and you get to hear what he's listening to. And he listens to some of the coolest songs I've ever heard. I can't name them off the top of my head, but the movie's called Driver.
I
think it's
would
still
have
on
to look
Netflix.
it up.
I've heard of it, but I can't think of it either.
Well, see, I originally thought Driven, which was the Stallone film where he was like the Indy
yeah,
car
okay.
driver. Yeah. Okay, so what was your third one, Steven?
Star Wars.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So-
Like my favorite soundtrack ever in the entire Star Wars franchise is probably going to be, and this is kind of controversial, but the Phantom Menace, like,
Oh
the,
no.
like the Duel of Fates soundtrack.
That was sick.
Like, no one can ever replicate that. That is so that soundtrack was like the scene itself, the movie itself, like. And then the opening scene where Darth Maul takes out his lightsaber for the very first time, like in live action, sorry, I'm getting hurt. But as far as in live action into like a movie instead of a cartoon, like that was everything.
Yes. I will say this though, what uh I actually wanted to, so you know how like when you go see Iron Maiden, they and Metallica does the same thing. When there's always the tape song that goes right up to.
Yeah.
And it's like for Iron Maiden, the tape song is Doctor Doctor by
Doctor,
UFO.
doctor.
And but they also play the tape at the end of the show too of like Always Look on the Bright Side of Life by Monty
Yeah.
Python. Okay. So it's all just, hey, we're here for a good time. Everybody chill the fuck out for a minute,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I always thought that it would be the funniest fucking thing in the world if you had ended the show and then played the original Ewok song from the fucking original run, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
VHS.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Not that one with all the fucking different scenes, but the one where they were just on Endor and celebrating the fall of the Empire.
Yeah.
That Yub Nub song at the end of a show would be fucking magnificent, magnificent, chef's kiss, nothing else.
Dude,
Um,
sorry, Mark, but like, are you? I just need to know. Are you watching Rings of Power right now?
I am not.
Ah,
I am
okay,
not
okay.
because
That's good.
I mean,
uh
like, it's controversial because like
yeah,
it's like
it's
hardcore Lord of the Rings fans either hate it or they fucking love it, and I mean,
I love it.
I love it, especially reading the
well,
books.
hardcore Lord of the Rings fans hate it because it is only Lord of the Rings in name. They don't have access to actual source material. They just have access to the name.
Mhm.
So it's somebody else writing new stories apparently. It's not actual stories from Tolkien.
Yeah. Like
That's
it's like
the
they didn't only read
controversy.
it.
But
But it's like
no, that's
I mean
totally
at
cool.
least it's the idea. That's the idea of what was written, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
I
I
have yet
enjoy.
to watch it, but I plan to. So, I didn't for that record, I really didn't like the new Willow series either.
Mm.
And
You know
and
what?
Willow was an amazing movie.
I watched one episode and you know what? I was interested. I am interested still. But mentally I
Was
haven't
it
even
the fact that they played Enter Sandman in the scene that got it for you?
maybe I made it like because like I'm so like I love Willow. I grew up in those I grew up in that movie too, and it's so iconic. Like even the personality wise of like the main character who's like like in love with the dark like middle queen soldier with the sword and everything. But yeah yeah I don't know. I just didn't I haven't had a chance to go back and actually finish it, and maybe that is it.
Dude,
I'm just probably denying it.
when the scene the thing that I watched when I saw Enter Sandman, like in the scene in the soundtrack, and it's like and the like the lightning's hitting to the beat, I was like, I'm done. It's like, don't get me wrong, I like Metallica. I have a lot of shit of theirs, but like I don't need it in my fucking fantasy realm. It'd be like
Yeah.
Gandalf coming out to For Whom the Bell Tolls. I mean, which would be cool, but would
Yeah,
it
yeah.
be really? I mean, other two movies for me. What did I said one? No, I didn't say. But I'll say Phantasm, the movie series, has an awesome soundtrack.
Okay, yeah, yeah, sounds good.
I love that horror franchise. And to stay off of, so that'll be my orchestral one. One for straight up film to like movie, like soundtrack. Forrest Gump has a lot
Oh,
of cool
yes.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Has all kinds of cool shit through the
That's
60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s music.
It's
I
nostalgic.
mean, it's got fucking Freebird on the soundtrack.
good. Yeah.
I mean, it's it's a joke of itself today, of course, but it's still a good song,
It
I
is.
guess.
Mhm.
And then probably Dazed and Confused.
That's a great movie too. Yeah, great
Yeah,
soundtrack.
because such an awesome soundtrack, and it has an extended soundtrack like Forrest Gump has too. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, they actually have two different versions of both of them. So I have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, there's always links listed below. So please give likes, shares, and follows. Go do the things and all the stuff. We were talking shitting on social media and shit earlier, which we still are going to always because that's where we are. And you're still watching us on YouTube and you're still listening to us on Spotify and all those places. But seriously, give likes, give shares, give follows. These dudes deserve it. They kick fucking ass. They're sweet, fucking honest, fucking awesome people. And hell yeah, and thank you, dudes. Do you all
thank
have
you.
anything else
Thank
you want
you.
to shout out or promote today?
New music video coming out tomorrow, but by the time they listen to this, it'll already be out.
That's
Well,
right, because we're going to include it on the episode.
Exactly.
well, I mean, Steelbreaker might come
Well, we
out.
have a third one coming out in January. I forgot the exact date, but maybe it'll be around that time as well.
Hell
So
yeah.
enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy that
Yeah.
one.
Fuck yeah. So my final question of the day, and you might have a few in your area, being from around the Los Angeles area. Have you ever stayed in a haunted hotel?
Yes, I have.
I haven't, so I'll let this one to Steven.
Ooh.
It sucks because I can't remember the exact name at the very moment. But okay, but like kind of going back to it, maybe you guys can research by just me talking. But so I had one time I had an invitation for a friend's wedding, and mind you, like the couple are ghost hunters, and they like they just love going to haunted places and going to like doing all that stuff, and like they had a podcast. I can't remember the name of it because we're now like it's like we're acquaintances, but we're not like super close anymore because like it's just we just got driven apart because of our lives. But yeah, so I spent the night at an old brothel back in the day, an old brothel back in the day, and it was towards Riverside. And like they had Elvira be the person to not exactly Elvira, but like the next person who she has in charge of replicating her character if they need someone to like connect with. They had her pretty much host the entire wedding, and it was like it was really planned beautifully, importantly. But the whole history of the brothel is that like obviously like it it was a building back in the day, and it was towards Riverside, and like people used to go. It's been flooded. There's been murders. I think there's one upper room where like if you upstairs where like where there's been like a very horrible murder where like a prostitute got her head chopped off by the man who paid her after he like did his business. So she is forever haunting that brothel because because of the horrible death that she faced. So, but it was very awesome. Like like it was very like I saw orbs like floating around and like during the entire thing. Like it's very antique still, and they like despite the flood that happened back in like the 40s, I think they cleaned it up kind of in a way where like the antique is still there as aesthetic, but like it's nice.
The Haunted Mission Inn?
Maybe I don't know. It had like I that happened like back in
Is it like
2012.
really elaborate looking?
It's like it looks like a normal like hotel, but like it's like but like it's very old school. Like even going upstairs, it reminds me of The Shining. Like it
Wow.
it just had that very antique aesthetic, which is like so awesome. But
That's
yeah, I can't think of the name at the moment. I'm so
uh
sorry. But
I have
hopefully you
stayed
guys
in a
do
haunted
find out about it.
hotel, but not in a haunted room there, so and I didn't see and when I was at mine it's the Sealbach here in Louisville. I'd never seen anything in there. I've been there several times and I've never seen anything there. So hell,
Good.
Yeah.
I don't discredit it though. Did and it's just wild, crazy, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Dudes, on our way out today, thank you so fucking much for coming to the Metal Forge. This is a we shouldn't go 4 years between talking again.
It should not. No.
Absolutely not. I had a great
Hell
time.
no.
We gotta do it
But
more
I
often.
just know that I'm always in the background watching you guys on the social medias and everything, cheering you on from Louisville, Kentucky, and hopefully we'll get you guys out here this year.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we can get the double trouble for Big Goddamn Metal Show.
Oh yeah. That'd be great.
Hell yeah. Dudes, on our way out today from the new album, you said you had some videos, right?
Yeah.
I've been putting videos in the podcast. What video do you want me to put in?
Gotta put in the Mad and Dangerous one.
Hell yeah. You
Comes
heard
out
it.
tomorrow, which by the time this video is out,
It'll be already been for a
It'll
month.
be there. It'll already be
Yeah.
there. You heard him. This is Mad and Dangerous. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm still hungover from last night. How are you gonna top that shit? Dude, tonight, I'm gonna fucking top it. Where are we going? This spot you have never seen, man. This is a place where you see shit go really down. Oh, yeah. What's up, man? Doing, man?
Guys, what are you guys here? You guys here for the show?
Yeah, dude, we're on the list.
What are you guys' names?
I'm DK, Thundercock.
Those are you guys' names?
Those are our fucking names, and we're on it, dude.
Oh.
Cause I like to try. From the face to the world.
fucking awesome.
Dude.
Dude, like, wasn't it the shit? Like, you saw fucking tits, fucking ass, fucking fighting, fucking music, heavy metal, like.
For 45 years and keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, to sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out.
In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code MetalForge10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.